Salaamedia, coming to you live from South Africa.
The time is just gone 9:52 a.m. on News and Views this morning. And we're talking about people, and we're talking about an amount that many of us may think is insignificant. And we're talking about a 350 Rand a month grant that is considered as the social relief distress grant. Now, this has been discontinued as from the 31st of January. And today, there are many people that are queuing outside post offices and waiting for their January payments to be made. And this crossover is a live crossover this morning, and you can view it on Salaamedia's Facebook page this morning, where we are talking with Dudu Kaapu, who is live outside the Ridgeway Post Office this morning. Dudu, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome.
Wa alaikum salam, Inayat, and good morning to our listeners and viewers. Now, I am here at the Ridgeway Post Office where, as we all know, that the government has announced the discontinuation of the COVID-19 social relief grant, which is due to be effective, or rather effective, from the 31st of January 2021. A lot of these recipients have gathered here to receive their last grant for the month, and have stated that they want to encourage the government to reconsider the discontinuation of the grant, because many of them are in families that have little to low income rates and require these 350, as little as they are, to actually support their families. And due to this, they have gathered in queues, and I'm standing in queues in most post offices across the country.
Yes. Now, I'm just looking behind you, Dudu, as well, and just looking at the visuals behind you at the post office. And earlier on, even before you came on air, and just looking at the people, I saw elderly people. I see an elderly gentleman coming out again with the aid of some walking aids. And I've seen so many of them at this point in time. Have you had any opportunity of talking to anyone or any of them standing in the queue?
Unfortunately not. Because they have mentioned that they would like to speak and to not speak in front of the camera, but have expressed their disappointment in the government because it is unconsiderate. Because currently at the moment, the country and many economies across the world have been affected by the COVID-19. People have lost their jobs, no incomes are in the house, there's no sustainability, and have complained that the government should actually even increase the amount to at least 500 or more. If they do ever consider continuing the grants in order to actually bring food to the table, and also due to the fact that kids are going back to school, they need stationeries and other school appliances.
Yes, and I think this is a very, very difficult time for them. And I've also read reports that, with the schools opening up, and some of them require this money to actually buy stationery for the school. And at the end of it all, these are very, very desperate times. And this is not only the visual that we're seeing behind you at the Ridgeway Post Office. I'm sure, Dudu, many post offices right around the country are faced with the same situation.
True, Inaj, true. People are really encouraging the government to reconsider this decision, and it will actually help a lot in this difficult time. And also, it states that because there's been actually report that the social development minister has stated that she would like the government to also reconsider the decision and to actually help out these families that are in vulnerable situations currently.
Well, this is something that the government needs to think about very, very carefully, very, very clearly, because we don't know. We don't know how long this pandemic is still going to last. We know we've hit the second wave. There may be third waves. There may be fourth waves. More people may lose jobs. And we may find, Dudu, that even more people going forward or looking ahead may actually require this grant. So if the problem exists now, the problem may only get bigger.
True, true, true.
Yes, Dudu, I know you and the team out there. It's a bit wet, it's a bit rainy, it's a bit cold this morning as well. But I must say, I must thank you and the team as well for going out this morning and bringing us this live crossover out of the Ridgeway Post Office. And inshallah, we hope all goes well. But we thank you for your time this morning. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Dudu Kaapu joining us this morning out of the Ridgeway Post Office. And yes, this is exactly what Daryl Bradford Smith was talking about when talking about fear. And this is the fear factor in society. And this fear factor is in more ways than one. Besides fearing for your health, besides fearing for your life, because many people have passed on, but also it's about fearful of the fact that you don't know. And we are venturing into an unknown territory, not knowing, especially these people who are dependent on this social relief distress grants, not knowing where their meals coming, where the next meal is going to come from. Earlier on, we spoke with Imtiaz Sayed from Etiquini Secure, and he spoke about NGOs, and he spoke about many organizations that are in the front line providing assistance, providing a service, providing relief, providing hot meals for people. And as we're going to head into the colder months as well, we've seen what has happened last year. But in terms of resources, these resources are only limited, and then they're going to be stretched to the limit at this point in time. And the government, looking at where the government is at this point in time, looking at where the government is spending some of its money, and by just making a decision, this social grant or this relief grant is coming to an end as at the 31st of January. What is likely to happen next month? And as I mentioned, 350 Rand, a small sum. It is insignificant to many of us. You could go into a restaurant and you could spend 350 Rand on a meal for you and your partner or your family. But for some people, it's money that they need to stretch. They need to keep it for an entire month to keep them going. And this is where the difficulty actually lies, that with the small amount of money that they've been receiving, that also has been taken away from them. So, we need to think very, very carefully. The government needs to think very, very carefully, because is this where the country is heading to? Is this where the entire world is running through? Because this problem is not only unique to South Africa, it is unique to many, many other countries, many parts right around the entire world. And during this pandemic, these are going to be difficult times, and if people don't have this money, they're going to take desperate measures. And with that thought, I'm going to leave you. Once again, it's been wonderful being in your company, in the company of all our listeners on the various platforms of Salaamedia, on Al Ansar in Durban, Pietermaritzburg, and also One Nation 88.9 FM. We're glad that you are with us too, and we pray, we make dua for your safety, for your good health as well. And please, 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 take care, take utmost care out there for you, your loved ones, your families, your societies. And with that, I'm signing off.